Hold on. Hello, Tom Levecchia here with the latest edition of the New Theory podcast. Today, we got a very, very, very special guest. And this has been a guest that I have been chatting with before. And she was good about making some time for us. Her name is Anna De Rosa, and she hails by the way of around, I believe, Rochester, right?
Yes, Rochester.
And she's got an interesting story. So she is a model. She is a brand ambassador influencer. She's an entrepreneur where she has some eComm websites. And she's also going to be a soon-to-be author. So we're welcoming her to the New Theory podcast. Anna, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
Well. Okay, so just like many millennials, you wear many hats. And just to give you guys some color here, so we're doing a video stream because we want it to be as personable as possible. But like it's weird when you're putting on the radio voice and staring at somebody. But we'll make do. So with that being said, Anna, let's start off with give us your formative years. Give us your background and kind of what makes you you.
Okay. Well, I come from a very I wouldn't say strange, but different background. I grew up having older parents.
Okay.
My father was 56 when I was born.
How old was your mom?
She was 41.
My mother was 44 when she had me.
Oh, no way. Okay, so you can relate to that.
Yeah.
So, I grew up kind of like, is that your grandparents? But, I was used to it. But I actually am very fortunate to have older parents because they taught me more of morals, hard work, a lot of things that kind of lack in this generation. Nowadays people just don't want to work. They just want to get money quick and just live the life of luxury. But, back in the day, you had to work for it. So I'm very fortunate to grow up with that kind of family life. My father didn't speak English, so I grew up speaking only Italian until I went to school, which is also kind of neat because you don't really hear that too often either. So I kind of was living that, Italian-American home life. I was pretty much their caregivers. My mother, unfortunately, passed away about 6 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And thank you very much. And I had to take on the role as a full-time caregiver.
How old was she when she passed?
She passed away in 2012.
Okay, and how old was she at the time?
I'm sorry, how old was I?
No, how old was she when she passed?
She was 60. Yeah.
60. Oh, wow, young. Okay, sorry to hear that. Okay.
And she was very young. She had lung cancer, unfortunately.
Wow.
So at that time, I had to take on the role as a caregiver at 21. So that kind of, set me back a little bit. I only had my associate's degree at this point.
You grow up quick.
Yes, definitely.
You don't have a choice. You grow up fucking quick.
Exactly. I had to take on the role of, the bills, and my father still didn't speak English. So I had to, take him to doctor's appointments and do all that. So there was no way for me to really go to college. And at that point, I didn't, my mind wasn't right. I couldn't focus. So I started bartending and, doing a little promotional modeling here and there so I could still be a caregiver for him. I also do a little bit of background acting as well.
Nice.
I was in Spider-Man that was filmed in Rochester, which was pretty neat.
Because there's a lot of, I don't know why, but there's tax incentives. But there seems to be a lot of filming in the Buffalo, Rochester area.
Yeah, it's definitely more up and coming as well as the city's progressively getting nicer. At first it wasn't. Rochester used to be very big when Kodak was cheap. But a lot after years and years and years, it's been slowly diminishing Kodak, which is sad. But there's been a lot of, especially in Buffalo too. There's been a lot.
Wait, so hold on. I wanna stop in on something, check in on something. So you mentioned that, again, sorry about your mom losing her, and then your father, you mentioned caregiver. Was it because he was advanced age, or was it because it wasn't well, or both?
Yeah, at this point, he was 81 years old, so he was getting a little
wow,
old.
Okay.
He was doing pretty good for himself. He was able to walk, but eventually came to a point where he fell and he fractured his hip, and then that placed him into a nursing home because he couldn't walk anymore.
Yeah.
For that year, he was in the nursing home, and even though I wasn't his caregiver, I still had to be there every day for him because he wasn't speaking English and he couldn't communicate with the nurses.
Now, really quick. So So I was an accident. Nobody at 44, nobody at 44 said, "Hey, let's have another kid." Typically, don't. Maybe now it might be different, but back then, no. But I assume you have some siblings, no?
Oh yeah, they're both. I have two half brothers from my father's first marriage.
Okay.
One still lives in Italy, and one is just retired from the Army. He lives in Seattle, Washington, and they're both in their 50s. So
wow. So okay, two halves. One in Italy, one here. And then did your father have any children with your mother outside of you?
Nope, just me, because I was the only.
Wow, so she had her first only child in her 40s.
Yeah, well, she had a first marriage as well as like my father did.
Okay.
He had my sister, she's 44.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so I was gonna say because if you're gonna be, have a kid at 40, whatever, no siblings, especially back then. All right, so did they meet in Italy or they met over here?
No, they actually met here. They just had mutual friends and they got hooked up like that, and
nice.
A year later had me and got married. I always would say I was a mistake, and they said, "No, you're a surprise."
There you go. They should work in marketing. That's how it's been shit. All right, so anybody knows I probably say I'm Italian on every show. People know this. So I kind of delve into this part of it. So Rochester, I don't think, and I'm could be fucking wrong. I know Buffalo a little bit more, but yeah. Rochester doesn't scream huge Italian American population. Am I, historically, am I kind of wrong on that, or no? You're right. It's just because I always wonder, like when they migrate over, why Rochester?
Actually, surprisingly, there are a lot of Italians. I would say less. Well, first generation, obviously, not as much anymore. However, we have an Italian American center here. We have multiple, actually. We even have like a little Italy kind of, but it's more of, it's not like how you're picturing like New York City.
Yeah.
It's just this little suburb, Gates, New York, which is in Rochester.
Is it a cool little downtown?
We have it downtown, but it's not like how you would expect in New York City, but there's just a large amount of Italians that live there. So I think probably that's why they call it that. But we still have the Italian festival every summer.
Oh, wow.
You don't find, third, second, well, you find second generation that still speak it, but the language kind of is dying out over here. Where in New York City, you kind of notice more people still obtain the language. And I speak Napolitan, which my father was from Naples. So,
where are you from, Naples City or an outside town?
It's called Bagnoli. It's a very small town in Naples. But you can, I would say maybe 15 minutes from the downtown there, where you can see Mount Vesuvius, and just the sea is just gorgeous there.
So I'm seeing the influence, right? So hey, I had to, I lost my mom. I had to deal with my father. And I know historically, and I say it goes either way. Usually Italian families, Italian American families, either, oh my God, you got to go to school because they didn't, and they push it, or the opposite, hey, just get a trade, and because they didn't have a super educational background. So it kind of goes either way. So I kind of get like where you started school because that's what you're supposed to do, and then I kind of get that you didn't finish, because of some home obligations. And you're an attractive woman, so obviously, hey, modeling, bartending, because if you look like Quasimodo, you might not do as well on that front. So that part I get too. Let's fast forward a little bit. So give us your first entrepreneurial or your first true entrepreneurial venture.
Okay. So my cousin actually got me started in the e-commerce business.
Okay.
I was looking to kind of just take time off after losing my father. I just, I wanted to take time off, explore, travel a little bit. And I'm like, what can I do to make money while I do this? Because, you can't just travel and money's going to fall into your bank account.
Correct.
So he told me that he started doing Shopify, which is starting to get more familiar, known to people now. Absolutely. And, it intrigued me a little bit. And so I just started, researching a little bit on YouTube and kind of watching tutorials on it, and I just became obsessed with it. I started, watching these videos. I finally created my own store, and Wait,
which one? Shopify, you said, or
Shopify I started with, yes. Yep. And I started with beauty products, and I know right now we're in a generation where plastic surgery is really big, and I know that's a topic you often talk about as well.
Well, only because my digital marketing agency, 80% of our revenue comes from there. So for those actually listening to the podcast, it's kind of funny. I'm like the plumber with the leaky pipe. I have like a ton of wrinkles, and I need so much shit done myself.
Oh, you do
but we actually do that. That's people wondering why. So our audience is growing.
Oh,
so people are like, why do we talk about plastic surgery? Is because that's what we do for our day jobs. Is paying for this podcast. All right. So you got the trend of aesthetics, beauty. Okay. Here's the thing, right? Because the best part, and I'm excited now. Here's the best part. So if I had shit to sell, I would sell a lot of it, right? But I don't want to go to like Baidu and buy. Like, all right. So give us the first products you sold. What was the strategy and what was the result?
Okay. So my first product I was so excited about. It's this product that was actually from China, and it's called the Nose Shaper. And what you do is it's pretty much like putting a clothespin on your nose, and it's supposed to make it more slender and slim. Nowadays everyone wants a beautiful, perfect nose, a good profile. So I was like, oh yes, this is gonna do great because this product is, it was under $20 and it's gonna give you the perfect nose. So I, of course, tested it out myself, and I thought it was all right. I was like, I'll give it a whirl. So I started creating, ads myself using Photoshop and some other apps, and I followed these tutorials on how to.
This, you see, it's on Amazon. The Nose Shaper.
Is it pink?
It's pink with these weird like nodules on it. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, yep, that's it. I was gonna say I can go grab it right now if you want to see it.
So hold on. So were you like one of the first to bring it to the U.S., or were you one of many?
It was already on Amazon because I did research it, but there wasn't a lot because I wanted to get into Amazon before I got into Shopify. But Amazon, you're gonna have to invest a lot more because you have to physically buy the product and store it at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of like, I don't want to invest a lot of money. I can't really afford, to buy so much inventory.
I'm like laughing at it because I have like some of the premier. I don't want to brag. I have some of the top like facial plastic surgeons in like the world.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I researched. I saw that. And
I want to give this to them, and I want them to.
And I researched it too to see, and I saw so many people saying there's no way it could work. It might work temporarily, pushing the cartilage, but to have it work forever.
All right, so you got the Nose Shaper, you set up Shopify, you ran some Facebook ads, you ran some ads, you did the creatives yourself. How many units you buy, how many units you sell, and what happened?
Well, that one I kind of lost a little bit of faith in. I had a couple ads running. I got some responses. I got some people laughing. Some people like, wow. I did little reactions on Facebook. I also gave some samples to my friends to see what they thought. A lot of people thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
I actually only ended up selling 10. And after this is within a matter of 6 months. But at this point, too, I'm still new at e-commerce. I'm still new at website design and all that.
But you learned a lot. Okay, so you tried the Nose Shaper, didn't work out. You cut bait on that. What was your next e-com venture?
So, with the Nose Shaper, I kind of had a couple little beauty products that girls use like every day, like these beauty blenders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like these self-adhesive bras, things like that. And those were actually selling okay, too. But after that, I just kind of thought like maybe I should just stick to like one product that I know maybe I can sell all year long.
Yeah.
Something that I can relate to, like send to people, like that they'll post. I started using like Instagram models with my swimwear line, which I started next.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I still have that today, and that's been my most successful one. So, Shopify is hard because you can sell so many different products, but you really have to have one that sells, that's good quality, that's always in demand because, bathing suits are something that people always are going to need. So that's where I started finding more success, and I ended up switching my beauty to swimwear. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, so hold on. So I'm trying to find an Instagram. Okay, so what's the name of your swim line? Sorry.
So it's SXE, but it's pronounced sexy.
I like that.
And I do it's drop shipping. So I do have a Shopify website for it. It's currently under construction right now because I just started it back up. I kind of took a little bit of break on it to focus on another store that I'll get to later on.
Yeah.
But I get all my inventory. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't get inventory. What I do is I work with wholesalers, and I will get products from them. I get the pictures of the products. I put them on my site.
Okay.
And when a customer purchases it, I contact the supplier, and
they drop ship for you.
Yeah.
So, but what is your secret sauce on this, or what is going to be like? Is it, do you pick out the designs and curate it themselves? Is it leftover stuff that's out there that you maybe get a better deal on versus branded? What's your strategy here, Anna?
So I do product labeling. So I'm using other people's products and putting my name on it.
Okay.
However, I work with a lot of Instagram models. They have a large following. I'll say, hey, I'll send you a free swimsuit. Would you mind doing a post for me? Some say yes, some want money. But it's
what do you do when they ask for money? Or hold on, are you hard no, or is it a case by case basis?
No, because advertising usually is never free, especially when you're working for a big firm. You can spend up to thousands of dollars for advertising. However, Instagram's nice because there's a lot of people who really aren't that prominent that have a large following, and they'll take the free product. Or there's a lot of YouTubers that like doing unboxing, and they'll do little giveaways. So social media is such an awesome way to collaborate with people in e-commerce. And it's a great way because there's always traffic. There's ways to engage with others. There's giveaways you can do. But I noticed using influencers helped me tremendously because they say your name, your brand, they talk about it. And, when people see prominent people like the Kardashians wearing something, most likely they're going to go out and buy it.
All right. Okay, I want to ask you some questions. So with the skincare, so your site's down, you're fixing that up, right? Yeah. Are you selling it anywhere else, or is your Shopify store the only store you're selling it?
Just there. I mean, you could also do it through Facebook, but it's still connected to my website. Okay,
so right now you're out of commission, you're fixing that. What does the average swimsuit sell? Roughly $30, $40, I don't even know.
Well, I sell them. My thing is also all my swimsuits are under $30.
That's why I thought I saw that. So let's say, keep it simple. Your jam. So
it can be costly.
So $30 swimsuit, keep it simple, right? Do you know your acquisition costs for customer? Meaning when somebody actually plucks down money, it gets drop shipped and it goes out. Do you know roughly that number, what it costs to take you to get a sale, or is that something you're still trying to figure out?
You mean like how many customers I'm?
Well, so keep it simple. Acquisition cost is you spend $1,000 on ads, and you got 3 people to buy. That would be $300 or whatever. Yeah, I'm just making up numbers. Do you know what your acquisition cost is?
Yes. Last month, I believe I spent, because what I do is I try to do low ads at first.
Of course.
Water's out. So I was spending maybe like $20, $25, $50 at most on ads, but I was reaching a decent amount of people because I would have, I would run contests where they would tag people. And they would have to, I would give them rules of what they do.
So let's say you spend $50. How many sales would you get for $50?
Well, I made 500 last month.
Off of $50 in ads? That's 10x. It's actually very good.
So it's a pretty good markup rate too. I probably make about 50 to 60% profit, but it's also.
So why are you not? So like, listen, like that's good. Why not pour gasoline on it and try $100, $200, $700? Is it financial constraint? Is it you're still testing? Are you focusing on other shit? Like what's going on?
Well, that's the thing is I have another store too, where it's a variety store that's been kind of bringing in more revenue. So I've been focusing on that.
See, because lesson. So see, for me, right, my money comes from X Factor, which is our digital marketing agency. So when there's an X Factor call or a new theory call, I got to go X Factor. It's 80% of my revenue. I don't have a choice, right? So, okay, that makes sense. So your swimsuits, kind of your passion, kind of getting there. So what is your other store? Tell us about that.
So my other store, I actually invested some money with a gentleman who is a good affiliate marketer. Runs multiple Shopify stores. His name's John Starro.
Okay.
So I invested with him to open up this new variety store. It's called Virtue Bazaar.
Virtue Bazaar. Okay.
Yeah, so that site's actually up and running right now. And we kind of sell, new innovative products, but it's, for anything, from dog clippers to LED bike lights. Right now,
Are you making any money on it yet, or is it still launching?
Actually, I've seen great success so far with him. He actually creates the ads that we run because we're doing video ads as well. Where before I was just doing picture ads that I was making myself, or going on Fiverr and paying people $5-10 here and there to create an ad for me.
So hold on. So I want to make sure I'm filtering this right now. So you hooked up with somebody, said, "Hey, we're gonna partner up. You're gonna throw me a few bucks." Did he do the website for you, or did you do the website on your own?
At first, I created it myself, and he actually ended up revamping everything. Changed the logo, put all the products up. So he pretty much has control of everything. Right now, it's all in his hands, where I'm kind of just doing the fulfilling the orders. But he has.
Wait, so you got all? I'm looking at the site right now. You have all this shit in your house right now?
No, this is also drop shipping.
Okay. So you will work with a drop shipper to make sure they fulfill the orders. And then what's your strategy here? Using paid ads, SEO, Google PPC?
We have a bunch of ad sets that we do on Facebook. I'm trying to get more into Instagram, but we've been having very good success with the Facebook ads. A lot of our posts have been reaching over 200,000 people. So so the reach is awesome. We just have to focus a little bit more on Instagram as well.
Wait, so hold on. I get it. So the nutritional stuff. So you don't get specifics, you have a partner and you might have. So is this enough money? Obviously your one site's down. Is this enough money where hey, support your living? Is it you still have to work, but it's kind of side hustle money? Where does it fit into your personal financial situation?
So because I've only been doing it for a year, I'm not making millions yet. Slowly but surely have been building my way up there. The biggest sale we've had, I would say, is about a little less. I made my money back that I invested, so that's good.
Okay, that's great.
And now we're working on, getting more profit. And I would say our biggest month with this was over $1,000. So it's definitely, which is why I'm focusing on this one. So obviously, I probably could live off of it, but you need money to make money.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest part. And these ads are definitely not $5-10 ads. These ads we're putting it in 150, 200 plus, these ads. And that's why they're reaching the people that we're trying to target, because we're spending more money on it. And that's the biggest part.
All right. So this is why I do this show, because I have billionaires on, I have people that do really well. And then folks like yourself who are still starting out. And, you can start off small. You can make 1,000. Gary Vee says this all the time, who's on the podcast, what's wrong with you making 1,000 a month that you already got your money back, or whatever you make, 500, 100, 5,000, right? So that all makes sense. And then you have your day jobs, which is, kind of obviously got to pay the bills, right? So where will your focus be over tomorrow for the next 18 months?
I'm thinking now that it's coming towards, spring slowly but surely, I'm going to try to focus a little bit on the bathing suits. Now that I have someone actually running my other store.
Yeah.
And he's a very good mentor, because he's taught me so much that I have not learned from watching YouTube, because I taught myself everything. I didn't go to classes, or, I didn't take business classes. I just sat on my computer every day for hours, just researching, trial and error, until I started seeing results. And that's the problem with drop shipping, is a lot of people think that they're going to get this product and make millions, but it's not like that. You have to put the time, you have to put the money, and you have to work. You can't just put a product up, pay $100 for an ad, and become a millionaire. It's not like that. And that's what I've learned, but it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It motivates me, because it's something I enjoy, and I see, the more you see results, the more you want to keep doing it.
So in a perfect world, you would want to sell sexy full time, sexy. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. But that would be, obviously, have your side hustle, but that would be a good endeavor for you.
Yes, because right now I'm actually working with another wholesaler. She's a designer. So now we're trying to make it a whole, company itself and try to get away from the drop shipping, because as we all know, Amazon's taking over the world, and who wants to wait 2 weeks for a bathing suit when you can get it in 2 days? Nope, that's the problem. So a lot of people say e-commerce is slowly dying, but if you have the right product and you invest the time, and you don't have to invest a lot of money to be successful. I mean, with the bathing suit company, I invested maybe $200, not even. So
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been getting, it's been worth it for me, but you can't just work one day and then, work 2 days next week. You have to keep at it. You have to spend at least 3 hours a day on the computer, because you have to engage with people online. You have to, know the right time to post ads. And it's kind of hard doing multiple stores at one time, because you really want to focus and you need that time. But that's why once you get successful, you can hire someone to run your store.
Got it. Now, like, what do you think? Like, what's your passion point? And then we'll get into you deciding to write a book. Is your passion point like bathing suits, aesthetic, beauty, or is your passion point, dude, I just love eComm, and insert whatever freaking product I'm going to make money off of? If you had to pick a pivot point for either, which would it be and why?
I would say, I mean, I do love eComm. I do love it. My thing is I want like financial freedom. I'm a big traveler. I don't think that everyone's brought on this earth to work 9 to 5 and hate their life. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we need people working at certain jobs. Like 9 to 5 isn't bad, but I'm not that kind of person. I want to be able to, not make someone else a millionaire, make myself a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's where my, my drive comes in. And, I'm just not going to stop until I get there. So that's why I keep trying and trying and trying. And, you don't become successful overnight. And that's what a lot of people have to realize. It's not, sometimes it's not even what it's who you know. So it's great to make connections and, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because I'm with you in all this, and it makes sense. Again, I think Italians fall into 2 categories when they come over. Either very entrepreneurial, because they had to be, hey, I'm going to cut lawns and eventually start my own business cutting lawns, right? Not really entrepreneur, more small business. Because I don't want to they had to do it, and then they started a small business and some scale, but they generally did fairly well, those who started businesses. Or they work for somebody, and that's their job, and they're like loyal, and they go work at Kodak or whatever they work, right? So what did your parents do? What did your father do, if you don't mind me asking? And did that influence your entrepreneurial journey either way?
Yeah, I would say just because of, kind of in my 20s, not being able to go to college and move away, I think that's where my passion for wanting to see the world more and kind of, because I was just always kind of cooped up in the house.
Yeah.
I tried doing a reception job. I tried working at a grocery store.
It just wasn't for you.
It just wasn't kind of for me. And I just feel like I want to be able to help people get financial freedom as well. So once I get on that track, I would love to, maybe do a YouTube channel or write an ebook, which I'm also working on now too, to help other people, live a life they want to live. I mean, a lot of people, either are getting laid off or aren't happy at their job. And who doesn't want to be happy at their job? I couldn't imagine walking into work and just being miserable for 8 hours. And then you come home and it just, it can stress out your spouse or your kids, and it just takes a toll on your life. You want to be happy.
All right. So you lead a good segue. So you're writing an ebook, and it's a totally different topic and a sensitive topic. So let's talk about that a little bit. What's the subject of your upcoming ebook?
So now, as we were talking about passion before, I would say this is probably where my biggest passion comes in for helping other people. This ebook is going to be about depression.
Okay.
Young adults. I'm probably going to be focusing more on women just because I have, can connect to that. But I'm working with a doctor, and we're doing an ebook on kind of like a survival guide to how to cope with depression, how to get past it. Kind of using my own experience with it, because I would say not suffering from it, but it took a toll on my life, especially within the past couple of years of losing both my parents and, dealing with that. So I just really want to be able to help people. And this is just going to be an ebook only. I actually hired a ghost writer.
Smart move.
So she will help, she's helping me, guide me. I'm kind of giving her an outline. So it's going to be kind of like an autobiography, but then tips and tricks and ways to just, be happy and keep motivated and just not give up, because sadly, a lot of people nowadays give up. And it's suicide and depression is really a big problem right now. And I think a lot of it is to do with, the norm of how people should look and how successful you should be. And people on social media are seeing all these people traveling every day and doing this and doing that. And you compare your life, and people don't realize it, but it sticks to your head, and it takes a toll on you for sure. So I kind of want to get more people, especially young adults, to, realize that, it's not always how people make it seem, know.
Now, I applaud you doing that, because it's something books. There's no money in books, so the fact that you are doing that is fantastic. So nice job there, Anna. All right. So, how old were you when your father passed?
So he actually passed away last February.
Oh wow, it's recent. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was almost 85 years old. 85.
Wow. Okay. So because I know I lost my father at 17, and then I lost my mother, I think it was 38, and it's just weird being an adult orphan. Like, that's one. I don't know if you're going to go on that in your book, but it's just fucking weird. You have, and like younger, not like young, but younger, like if I was in my 60s, yeah, you kind of expect that, but in a way, but when you're, and we were both the products of older parents, right? So, okay. So you're writing this book, you hired a ghostwriter, you're partnering with a physician. How soon do you think it'll be out?
My goal is within the next 3 months.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're moving forward. Have you got your first, so I wrote a book as well. Nothing in regards to psychology, but still meaningful enough in terms of sales. So if you're, if you want to get your money right, check out the book, but you do something a lot more meaningful. So with that said, did you, like with me, she worked with me, she was a writer, and she would interview me and then write it out. How are you working with your ghostwriter?
So I was going to kind of give her, write up something myself, give it to her, but we're also going to chat, and she's going to ask me some questions too, just so we can kind of get to know each other on a personal level more too.
Yeah.
So she, really understands.
Oh, so she's local to you then?
Well, we're going to do a video chat. Yeah.
Okay, I got the same thing. Whatever. I got it. Okay. That works. So 3 months for that. And then when's Sexy going to be back online?
Definitely within the next couple weeks. Just working on getting some more inventory. What I do for that is I research products that I know that have sold the most, what are, seem most popular. And so it's going to be a little more product research on that one, but I'm thinking within the next few weeks.
Okay. So that makes sense. But here's the thing though, and I love you already, but my only thing is you have a lot going on. So what's your secret, or do you have one, or you're not, to be organized? Because I'm getting better at my organization, and if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. But the other day I actually missed like a New Year's Day dinner because I didn't put my sister, when she said, hey, can you come over tomorrow? I said, yes. I didn't put it on my calendar. She kind of had a birthday cake for me there, which was not good. Yeah, which is not good. But with that being said, I doing a lot better job getting organized. You're wearing a few hats. How do you, what are some of the tools you use, or how do you maintain good organization?
Well, from the business part, luckily there's a lot of apps that can help you. There's an app. Okay. For when it comes to posting, which is crucial with having an e-commerce business, you have to be engaging with people constantly. You want new product to constantly be up. There's, certain apps that I can use that will post for me. So when I get home from bartending at midnight, I'll, sit on my phone and, get a couple things that I want, and they will automatically post for me. So things like that help me. I keep a planner with me, at all times. You know, I'm all about, you know, putting things in your phone, but for me, like writing helps me a little bit more. And I constantly make lists, like do this today, do this tomorrow. I plan out my days, you know, so I'm not like, okay, what am I going to do today? Because I've noticed I'm all over the place when I do that. Like I have to have everything planned, and I never used to be that way. But, you know, it's also nice to have help, which is why I hired my mentor. And, you know, especially when you have multiple businesses, it's almost impossible to just run it yourself, especially when you're having a lot of sales come through. You know, you could get 50 to 60 sales a day, and that takes a lot of time to go ahead and fill in that customer's information, to go ahead and process the order, keep up with emails. So it's good to have help as much as you can. And if you get to that point where you can pay other people, that's when you know you're succeeding.
So what scares you the most?
Wasting a lot of money that I've worked hard for.
Okay.
But the gamble you take in this business, what's good about this business is you don't need a lot of money to start an e-commerce business. You know, you can start little by little, but I would say, yeah, because when you're working, you know, when someone gives you money, that's different. But when it's your own hard work, your hard-earned money, and you lose that to something that you like, you know, you put your heart in, you thought it was going to work and it didn't, it's kind of a disappointment. But it's also motivation to keep trying until you do make money and do succeed. So it's kind of one of those things that goes both ways, you know.
Got it. So, Anna, how can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram personal one is _Anna Maria De Rosa. And my sexy swimwear is SXE Swimwear. We're also on Facebook as well. And don't forget Virtue Bazaar if you're looking for a variety store. Virtue is VIRTUE BAZAAR.
Check it out. There's like random shit on it.
So much random stuff.
So listen, Anna, I had high expectations of this conversation. You know, and you definitely exceeded my expectations. Is there a question that I didn't ask that you wish I did?
Let's see. I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
Sweet. All right. So we're going to get this up shortly. And Anna, thank you. Stay on, but thank you for being on the New Theory podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.